Hey guys, and welcome to Charging Up with TBV. Hopefully everybody's doing good. I got a special guest here today, Luke. He runs the channel. Well, it's his channel, but he runs the channel Not in My Lifetime. It's a Manchester City channel, kind of like a fan channel. He runs it with other people. Make sure to check that out. I have all of his links in the description. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Without further ado, welcome, bro. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man, it's been good. I've been watching your stuff for the past couple of years. I mean, you'll learn later on that although I support Premier League team, I do like other European leagues. And I think even before I really got into football properly with City, I think when you're younger, obviously, when you watch football, you're a bit more basically knowledge. But when you got to watch other leagues, you get a bit more knowledgeable about other players. And yeah, I've always been a big, Bundesliga and Serie A fan even before I got to other stuff. So for me, yeah, I mean, I've been watching your stuff for the last year or so. Obviously, I know Zero as well. So yeah, a big about having me on.
No, 100, bro, 100%. Like, this is the thing with me. You know what I mean? You see certain podcast hosts and so on. They just want the massive guests. You know, they want the Andrew Tates and the KSIs and all of that. I just love to speak to people in general, like straight up general. Like, that's something I've always had, is the gift to gab. Like, if it's something I'm passionate about and talking with people, like if we're going to start talking about politics, bro, I'm leaving. You know what I mean? Because I don't know anything about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I just love talking to people. So that will always be my thing, no matter if this gets up to 1,000, it stays at 500, or if it's to 1 million. You know what I mean? I just love talking to people. So, but yeah, no, it's great to have you on, bro. I always see you every now and then in the chat and so on and so forth. And I'm like, you know what? I need to get this guy on. You also do a lot of content, if I'm right by saying, with Alf, right?
Yeah, Alf's a good mate of mine. Obviously, well, my cousin was actually born in Brugge, so
Okay.
Club Brugge is something I do actually like because of my cousin. So, well, he's English, but he's got a Belgian passport, so it's kind of like that. Like, so Belgian football is kind of my thing as well. So yeah, because of him.
No, 100, bro. What made you get into Manchester City then, mate?
Oh, that's a good question. See, the thing is, right, I'm sure you know it yourself, right? A lot of people in this country, right, say you support who your dad support or whatever, and your parents support. The thing is, for me, it's different. In my family, close family, and that, football isn't a thing. It never was. And my mum watched it when she was younger. She liked Tottenham and Southampton, but the problem is she never really she felt love of it. So it felt like, okay, so I haven't really got anyone really to support, really. Like,
Yeah,
because again, everyone was oh, support your local. Well, we don't know that at the time. How you meant to just assume that's what I meant to do. So football for me was kind of a just while before while I got into it, was kind of a loose thing. I thought, you know what, I don't really know who to support because I didn't want to sort of just choose Chelsea or United and that, because United in this family is hated. Like, we hate United in the family. So I thought, well, so you can see why I went City in the end, kind of thing. But for me with football, right, I mean, it got me sort of like a hobby and something to sort of really get obsessed with, because when I started off with it, I didn't really watch it. Well, I watched like the old World Cup and that, like when you're younger and that, and the old Euros, but you didn't really sort of notice it because you're like 8 years old. You don't really take much into it because you're still growing, still doing other stuff. But I think 2010 World Cup was probably the year I really got properly into football a lot more. Like I was sort of in it about it. Obviously, I played like FIFA away, FIFA 9 growing up, so I often played like with City and Crim a lot because I like was it Anelka and that, and Elano and that. So Elano's my first City player that I liked growing up. So that's why I'm a big Brazilian football fan, because Elano obviously playing along with like Neymar and that as well at some point as well.
yeah.
That's why, so yeah, it's a weird one because I mean it's like a combination of things: hatred of Man United, just City sort of, I think, the sky blue shirt, and obviously and yes, the club got taken over in 2000. The thing is, as an 8-year-old meant to know about money and football at that point. Like, I just thought, okay, they're a cool club, the opposite of United, brilliant. And then ever since then, just sort of got more passionate about it, more into it. I'd say when I was about 10 or 11, I probably got into it, obviously, because I think my first favorite player, obviously post Alana, was probably someone like Zabaleta and company, because obviously company, as you know, is your manager right now of your club. the Vinny Company's kind of like was one of the big guys that sort of got me into playing football. But I'll get into it in a bit as well about me growing up, particularly why I wasn't in football straight away. But I'm actually I play as a defender. So for me, sort of like a company and something like that was just an idol, because obviously because of how he was for us, captaining our club and also as a defender. So again, it's a lot of people would say again, sport team because they're dad, but for me, it's just I sort of got into it as I got older, kind of thing, which I know is a bit odd. But when I'm my own son, daughter, they'll start supporting City, and then that will go from there. So hopefully, my own child will start doing YouTube if it's still around then. But I'm probably carrying it on for me as I get old. So that's the hope. End of the day. So yeah.
No, I'm with you. I have a similar story in certain senses, like with not having parents that give, like, again, we used to put England on, but it was like that was it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, now both my granddads, one of them supports Chelsea, but and the other supports United, but they are like newspaper fans. I think when they were younger, they cared, but they don't care no more. You know what I mean? They just get on with their life and whatever. You know what old people are like. They just do their thing. So I didn't really have a team. I was a United fan for like a tinsy little bit, because of my best friend Taylor, and spending a lot of time with him on Xbox, on the headset, playing Halo, playing FIFA.
Remember that.
Like, I was like, yeah, man, what's your team again? And he's like, United. I actually have a picture of Wayne Rooney just up there. Unfortunately, it is in the United kit. I love Wayne Rooney, but my story obviously is Iron Robin, watching him, and I'm like, you know what, that's going to be my club. So yeah, you know what people are like, glory hunter this, glory hunter that, but at the end of the day, like, my personal opinion on people is, why do you care what another person wants to do with their life? You know what I mean? Like, and I know you get it. 100% because of the 115 charges, oil money, all of that crap. So
yeah, well, I'll say it, mate. In my own fan base, mate, I have people who are their 40s and 50s assessing over who I supported and saying, "Oh, you went to this game because look." When I was growing into football, right, Southampton were a League One team at that point. Before I went to Premier League for a few years, I'm doing pretty well, right? So, well, it was like cheap tickets back then. Like me and my dad went to a game because it was a local game at the time. I was getting into football, and problem is people see that and think, oh, so you supported? No, just because you could pick. And it's like, why do you care what I was doing when I was younger? Surely you should care about what you're doing. Like, this is what I mean. Like, you're in your 40s and 50s, and you've got family, and you're focusing over what I'm doing. Like, is this what I don't like about people? Not obviously. Most fans are great, mate. Most of I met a lot of City fans, mate, who in Manchester brought me into obviously everything, and I felt so welcomed every time I got up there and be at the ground, no matter what stand I'm in. I've got a lot of good mates through it that I've gone home and away with, and that's what I focus on. But there's always ones, I'm sure you know it yourself, right? We just obsess over the most weirdest thing. So screw them, mate. But like, if they've got time to talk about what I'm doing rather than care about what themselves at that time is doing in their age, then they have a lot more time than I do. That's for sure.
100%. I back that fully. You know what I mean? And don't get it twisted. Like, I can be a shameless guy as well, and I can say, like, if Man City take one of our players or we lose to Man City, it's like, oh, screw them. They can't even fill the stadium.
Yeah, of course. I'm the
but
same,
at the same time, I've been to your stadium and it was full. So I'm kind of like, being a fraud with it. So, but yeah, no, that's just social media as a whole.
Yeah,
people care about other people's lives way too much. Like, even with like the missus, we'll get back into the actual show in a minute talking about you, but the missus loves watching that Love Island show.
Oh god, yeah.
I want to spend time with her, so I watch it with her. And then, like, you just go on socials and it's just thousands and thousands of tweets, and it's like, get a life. Like, what are you doing? This world is mad. But yeah, with so you say Southampton's local to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you're really close to me then. I'm not going to leak my address, but you're close to me.
Fine. Let me know in private where.
Yeah. No, that's kind of cool then, because I had a feeling you were like more up north, not because of Man City. I was about to say Man United, bro was about to leave.
Oh, don't you dare that,
um, yeah, I thought you were going to be more up north, but yeah, that's cool. We'll talk about that after.
of course.
But yeah, no, like I've been to a Southampton game, and I went because of my brother. He wanted to see a football game. He doesn't have a team. Like he says, "Oh yeah, I'm a Bayern fan," and then the next day he's like saying "suey" and all of this crap. So
Casual fan.
yeah,
I get it. I get it. It is what it is.
but yeah, we went to a championship game, and it was Southampton versus Sunderland when Jude's little brother Job used to play for them.
I was at that game, you know.
You were at that game where
I took my mate, he's a Chelsea fan. But you know what? Let's go to a game, and we watched. And it's the thing though, like that Southampton team, right? And like I say it now, like they're a weird club, man. Because I said before, like they've got potential to be a very good, like they should be a Premier League team. Like they're a Premier League club originally. Like we're getting Europe quite. I mean, what Brentford were doing now is what Southampton were doing for like years before they went down, and that's like what I think. Like you shouldn't be in a championship at all, but it's because you run poorly. That's why you're in the championship. But yeah, that's another conversation. But I was at that game. Job scored an unbelievable.
Scored a banger, didn't he? Yeah.
I was like, I said to him, "That's Job." Yeah, told you. And then obviously Dortmund has been doing shit, but no. There we go. Job for me, right? He's not a bad player, but because his name's Bellingham, it's going to get a lot more hype, isn't it? And then the thing, mate, about the Bellingham name, right? It's like the ego's too there way too early. Like you've only won what? You won one UCL. Fair enough. You won a UCL. Fair enough. But is that Madrid?
Exactly.
It's only one. Yeah. Again, I'm not going to go like. But are you a Modric? Nope. You a Cruz? Nope. Like. Again, as an Englishman, I'm happy to see someone like him doing well because it's good for England, I suppose. But like you know yourself, right? Like the arrogance of him and his brother at times. Like, guys, you need to actually make it before you stop being arrogant. Like I saw some people saying, "Oh, he's as good as someone like De Bruyne." Yeah, no, you can have De Bruyne's boots. There's times where you know yourself watching UCL, right? With Kev, right? Yeah. Especially Wolfsburg as well, but against Bayern, you know, that final before it went to us, that guy's carried teams on his own, even lower than him, right? So. Again, like Bellingham needs to actually earn that right to be a name like that. Again, I know it's a bit of a waffle, but that's just how I am with football. Like I'm not into like overhyping certain players when they don't deserve it. And I mean, Joe, look, again, talented player. Obviously, Watford, that goal kind of proved it. But as you know yourself, man, like some players just get overhyped way too early, man.
No, I'm with you, fully with you. And it, you know, you'll notice. Are you like fully English?
Well, right, yeah. So English with a little bit of Norwegian heritage and Basque. So a little. So okay. Norway, as you can tell, by Erling. I said to my mum, right? My mum loves football as much as I do, right? I said to her when Haaland scored that goal against PSG in 2020. Yeah. I said to her, he'll be a City player in 3 years because I straight away, he's a City fan. Is it? Yeah, he'll be a City, and yeah, there he is now. Like he's one of those players that I've watched a lot, a little bit. Obviously, a little bit of Mulder at the end. Then obviously watched a Salzburg and watched him. And you could just see that the guy's unbelievable. I don't care if you hate him or not, right? And obviously, you guys watched him. Still gets you a couple of times. While he was playing for Dortmund. Yeah, he's straight away. He's a brilliant player. Yeah, he's not a Harry Kane, but he doesn't need to be. He's his own player, and that's probably why someone like him will go on to score many more goals in his career. And you know that's why I love football. I'm not a casual Premier League fan. I will watch other leagues to see how, like players like you know that City have signed over the years. I've known about years before because I knew who they were. And that's why it's good to have chances because I can talk to you about football, people about football, and just talk about it. That's why I'm doing this. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, no, 100%. I'm with you fully. And that's the thing, wasn't it? That's why I asked you if you're English, because you know that wasn't obviously to be offensive or anything, but like you will know fully what it is like with the English. It's overrate this, overrate that. Like, and don't get it twisted. There are some really good English players. Like there are, but at the same time, you know, Mark Gay does something good, and you've got him at your club, and we'll talk about him in a minute. But like. He did something okay at Crystal Palace, and oh yeah, he's world class. No, he's not. No. Like, what are you talking about? What? Because he's English. Like, and again, it was same with Job. you know, again because of the Bellingham name. But like it was like, oh yeah, he's gonna go and smash it at Dortmund just like his brother did, and then he'll go and play with his brother at Real Madrid. It's like it's not how it works. Like that is not how it works.
You gotta earn it, bro. You gotta earn the rap. You gotta earn that back, man. You gotta earn it. You know what I mean?
100%. But yeah, with your like overall, let's break down. So when did you start supporting Man City?
I'll say properly 2010. But I mean, again, before that, it's very on and off. But I'm going to say committedly 2010 because
2010. Okay,
yes, we're taking over in 2008. But obviously, we're still like mid-table mediocrity. In 2008, we lost 8-1 to Middlesbrough. So you say, oh, you're a good team. No, we weren't. We had the Yaya and David, yes, but that was like their first year. Tevez first year with us. Like we had a decent team, like Fred Bellamy and that obviously coming through as well. Obviously scored some goals against United. We lost 4-3 to them for one season, but it was a decent team. It was like a mid-table towards 8th place team at the time. Obviously we got David Silver and obviously Yaya Milner, and obviously we were much more of a stable team. Like I obviously watching Torre score that goal against United and Stoke in the FA Cup semi-final and final. Right, I mean Torre, about what a player. I know he's actually was a bit hit and miss at times, but as a football player, mate, of what you could do on the pitch, unbelievable. Honestly, David Silva as well is very underrated by a lot of people, and I get why. Like in that Spanish team, as you all know, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, but ask them about David Silva, and they'll rank him very, very highly because in that Spain team that won the Euros and the World Cup, he was crucial in both teams, and also Euros before that. So I'm grateful to have watched some great players at the club when I was younger. Obviously, 2011, Aguero came in, and obviously history was made at that point. You know, as we all know, the famous goal. But yeah, 2010 was probably the year where I really got into it. And that's where I really say, you know what, I'm really gonna sort of like look at, and I watch every game match today because obviously back then, bro, as you know yourself, right, there wasn't any of these YouTube highlights, bro. Back then, you had to watch it on match today. So you can watch football now. Now you got YouTube highlights. You can watch on every single channel. Back then, bro, you had to find it on bloody match of the day if you were lucky. And iPlayer wasn't really much of a thing back then, so you had to like kind of like watch it, or the rerun the morning after. Like you know what I mean? Like football highlights now are so good to have now, but back then it was just it's hard on it. It's hard to watch games every week because. If you had Sky, I had Sky Sports back then because I'm not couldn't really afford it back then. But obviously, I bought it like later on down the line. But as you know yourself, bro, it's hard like sort of following a team when you haven't really got the access to it that you want to. And yeah, that's how it is.
Like the first couple of seasons that I was watching Bayern, obviously I was watching them more in the Champions League than anything because I didn't understand the leagues and so on. But I was a highlight merchant. Like I was, you know what I mean? I would go on Google and I'd be like, I knew what time it was going to be and so on, but I didn't know how to watch the game. Like, I didn't understand about these illegal streams and all the streams that you have to pay for or whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't understand any of that. And again, people would then maybe come at me and say, oh, well, support an English team then. Support your local, this. But at the same time, again, we go back to the same thing. I'll do what I want to do. You know what I mean? I'm not you. You're not me. So shut up. You know what I mean? Like, straight up. So,
bro, honestly done. Honestly.
Yeah, no, 100. I do apologise. I'm on my phone. I've got my daughter in here. Everything's going wild. So I do apologise, but we'll continue. Go and do what you need to do, please. Yeah, whatever. With Man City, so you lived the Aguero, you lived the winning the titles, some of the good, some of the bad. Obviously, saying that it's not bad, but there were times, is it Pellegrini his name?
Pellegrini, yeah. Pellegrini,
you had him. And so on, and then obviously, then you finally got Pep from us. Right, let's talk about Aguero. How did you feel it? Because you just told me at the start of this pod that you hated Man United, and in your family you hate Man United. So to a Man City fan, that probably means a lot anyway. To you, at the same time, it means a lot because you also hated them before being a City fan.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful. Like the thing is with Aguero, right? Like I get people don't rate him as far as Lewandowski, and I understand it. Injuries did not help him at all. And I do think if he wasn't injured as much, he'd be in a conversation absolutely right now up there with them. The problem is with him is that it's mad, right, that you call him a what-if player, because he really shouldn't be. He should be a legend of what he's done for English football. Like, he should be a Champions League winner for us. He should be. But he's not because of how Pep handled that final. But again, it's a whole different conversation. But Aguero, watching him that season, right, and you probably watched him as well that time.
Yeah.
What he was doing was unbelievable. Like, he was such a small player. But he wasn't like he wasn't. I wouldn't say he was a big name. He was a rising star at Atletico Madrid. Then 2 goals scored against Chelsea in Champions League 2008. Were obviously well known at the time as well. But everyone thought, he's going Chelsea United, because that's what the rumours were about at the time. And then we got him. I was like, he's just gone for the money. And then you look at what he's done over the years, right? The goals he's scored in the big games. But what Barcelona scored a few against, obviously, for us. I mean, Real Madrid, I don't think it was. I think the problem is our Madrid form at that time wasn't really like as it is now, where we're like quite good with them now. Like, well, I wouldn't say, obviously UCL numbers. We're not even going to talk about that because we've got 1 to our name. I'm not even. That's why we won't hear me trying to banter other people, like your club and that, because I've got to get that amount before I start talking about that. I want to match Chelsea, beat United to 3 and 4. Then I say, right, I've got more than you now. So sing shut up, because that's what I want City to do, because City can do that, but we've got 1 which is unbelievable. 1 is still unbelievable in a treble year as well, which is obviously we'll get onto later on. But just I want Aguero to win 1, because if of all the players to win 1 in that club, and what he had done for us, how long he did it for, the injuries is why we've been through, that would be a great ending for him. To sort of lift the Champions League in Porto and say, you know what. He leaves maybe with a goal at the end to win the game against Chelsea. That's what I hoped would have happened. But yeah, the Aguero moment for me, I was there at the Gundogan moment when we won 3-2 against Villa. I was at that game.
Yeah,
mate. Football is football. Honestly, that game. Even now, I'm still feeling the shakes of the ground when that third goal went in. Like, that kind of game is what football's about. When you win a league like that, the way we did, but. But the Aguero moment for me, I remember watching it it was on Sky Sports show, watching Fergie and that, thinking that they won it, and then the commentary from Martin Tyler to this day is one of the best bits of commentary, because the way it was, the way at times as well. I mean, everyone celebrated it, probably not that. I mean, everyone wants one, because obviously everyone hated United at that point, and everyone hates us now. But that's because obviously we've won a lot of stuff now. It is what it is. But everyone was happy for us, because like, you know what. Fair enough. Like, they've spent money, yes, but not a lot really. I mean, a lot of the time, sure, but when you think how much it was overall, like, it wasn't really that much. People says it's like, Joe Hart was in goal, obviously, for us. He was brilliant keeper for England and for us, obviously, at the time. Just honestly, that moment for me will live with me for the rest of my life. Even though I wasn't there, sadly, I have a mate who's been at both moments, Gundogan and Aguero, in the same spot he was, and he's been going for years and years and years with him. He's seen that. I'm like, you lucky bastard. You must have. You must have. It must honestly. For those City fans that were there at Main Road, that were there, watched us go down the League One, that were there when the club was almost went bust many times in the 90s, right? That was for those fans. Like, I'm always respectful of the older fan, because they've been there longer than I have. I'm only the one carrying the torch on when it passed away. I'm the one saying, you know what, I'm carrying us through to the next guys coming through. Like, that was for them. 2012 for me was more of that's what the fans who are older to get, because they've actually been there and helped and seen the club where it is. And obviously for me, I was young. I'm happy that I got to see all this stuff, in my teens and obviously early mid-20s now. But for people like my dad's best mate's a City fan as well. That's why, and we knew about that. Well, obviously we got on really well. He sort of messaged me obviously around again during the games and that. And for him as well, he's been going since the 60s. I think 6, 70s in Main Road. So that's what football's about for me. Like that kind of game, like when you've robbed your most hated rivals of a title. Yeah, they've won way more than you have, but like when you factor in that all my people at school were United fans. If you ever go at me for supporting City, like, well, hold on, you support Liverpool, United, and Arsenal. What? Like, you ever go at me for supporting a club that hasn't won anything? Yeah, okay. And then obviously we won quite a more. People started hating me for it. Like, well, that's what you get when you spend any money. Have ambition, obviously, but yeah, mate, honestly, that moment for me, Aguero, mate, was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Nuts. And yeah, and then obviously from then, then obviously this year after, were you see, this is the thing, right? Sergio Aguero, ridiculous player, like 5'8", chunky build, but the guy's still got 384 goals in his career in 600 odd appearances, yeah. But like, were you upset when you didn't give Van Persie?
Oh, yeah, because people think, oh, you don't know about that. No, I remember the Hazard and Van Persie things. I was fucking off we didn't get them both. Because Van Persie, I know at the time we were after him. And to be fair, if we had got him, we're Van Persie in one team. And Janko as well on the bench. Bloody hell, Christ. That's like, yeah, you're sorted then at that point. You got 3 strikers. And Janko, by the way, was great as well for us. Janko is one of the most underrated strikers in football history because he's still playing now for Schalke and still scoring goals. Like, he's 39. But Janko obviously loves us, obviously, because obviously, he's him and Kolarov, obviously, at Roma. And obviously, they both celebrated, like, Chelsea because of us and that. But Van Persie, I was gutted because I actually think Van Persie had one good season, United, and that was his first year after that fell off massively. I think with us, it'd have lasted a lot longer because I think the problem is the Moyes era ruined him because Fergie ruined the club by picking the manager. That should never have been the way anyway. Like, and the board, it cost him massively even now. But Van Persie for me would have been a massive name post-title because we signed Scott Sinclair from Swansea, Jack Robbo from Everton. I was like, what are we doing? Buying the president? No, what that you mean? Like where we are now, we wouldn't do that now. We'd obviously, I'm not saying, but then again, though, City don't buy massive big players now for a lot more. Like Jack Grealish was one player. It didn't really go well, really. I mean, yeah, one trophy for us, but let's be honest here, wasn't great overall. I'm going to say as it is, right? Not enough goals. That's why our money's. That's why we don't spend a lot of money on big name players like that. And that's obviously, there's obviously big names that we go for, but obviously for the right price. So that's probably what we are now. But Van Persie and Hazard, if we had gotten both before Chelsea United, that would have generally probably won us more leagues in a row. Like Hazard was a player that I want from Lille because I remember how good he was. Like that Lille team. Yeah. So bro. Honestly, I was gutted. I didn't get Van Persie. I was gutted.
No, I can see it because, like, yeah, and he was obviously the reason you didn't win the league back to back. That because obviously the goals, of course, but like even against you, I remember watching that game.
That free kick. That was a dagger to the heart. That was.
Yeah.
From 2-0 down to 2-0 at Zabaleta, I was like, yeah, because the thing is, if we had won that game, we probably would have been right in there for it. But you know it yourself, right? It's just the problem is that team was shit, by the way. They don't seem, but they had players like Van Persie and Rooney and some of that just stepped up for them. Fergie's last few titles, right? I mean, those teams, right? They were very average teams that he won them with but it's because the manager got the most out of the players around him, and that's why he's a great manager, Fergie. He just got the most out of them, but he retired at the right time because I think he knew himself he wasn't going to go very far with that. So it is what it is. But I was gutting. That was a dagger to the heart. That was. I mean, was it him and Nani, man? The amount of times that they scored goals against us, like Nani especially scored loads of goals past us, and obviously Rooney as well. Another player that always scored against us, but. Yeah, that season was a real humbler. It was great to obviously win the year before, but obviously the same year lost to Wigan in the final as well. Like that, 12-13 was a year to forget for the club. Like it was just right. We won the league, but it's more like right. Let's chill now. We won a league and a cup. We want to do more. We have to go again. So yeah.
Nah, fully, and it's like. Yeah, man. Imagine if you would have got Van Persie, that team would have been disgusting because you would have had David Silva, Nazari, Yaya, Company was obviously still there. You might have actually, it's if buts and maybes, of course, but Like you might have actually won the Champions League sooner.
The problem is the UCL, right? I mean, you'll know it yourself, right? Is that we weren't used to it at all. Like in the groups now, what was it? Was it you for you? You first year, wasn't it? We did you twice in the group stage before. Obviously, we just struggled massively. I know, obviously, 1 year we went to Allianz and won because obviously our record actually is not bad against you. Well, I'd say you probably edge it right now because again, our games aren't frequent anymore. Like apart from the treble year where we battled your first leg and the second leg, obviously it was a draw at the Allianz. It's very weird though. You in Barca, we haven't played very much. I don't really get it. Like, it's like, why are you so scared of giving us Barcelona? It's like I don't want to give us Barcelona. Like, guys, Madrid versus City, you know it yourself, right? I'm done playing them. Can I have a Barcelona, please? Just go to the new camp and play against Yamal and cook Yamal and laugh at Barcelona fans. But I can't. I've got to watch Madrid again this year. Like, I'm not. Look, I know it sounds mad that I'm saying that, but like when you've played them as much as we have recently, it's like I'm just bored of playing them now. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, regarding UCL earlier on, man, like just groups and that, it just was. I think it was just that we weren't used to it, and the experience wasn't there in the club at that time.
Yeah, no, I can see that fully. But yeah, then obviously you push on. You're still doing good. You're still winning titles and so on.
Yeah.
And then, would you say that the turning point was? Did Pep get you De Bruyne, or did you buy him before?
Right, we got Kev in 2015, but the signing was more for Pep because obviously Pellegrini got the club were kind of building the team like Sterling and De Bruyne were the two players they wanted to bring in for Pep. So I would probably say it was for Pep, but then again, you watch both of them in the first year. Both De Bruyne obviously got injured throughout the season during the season, but in the UCL, mate, Kev against Sevilla, against PSG. Like that guy, man, he turned up. You know, he showed straight away in his first year, right? He's a big game player. You know, be it PSG, be it Madrid, be it Bayern, be it Barca, he will step up and do it. And that's why he's one of them players, right? That could very easily have gone to a Madrid and Barcelona, but you know, that kind of stuff, that level. And people say, why didn't he? But I think I think the club was just ambitious enough every year to sort of him say, what, I'm going to stay here. And people won't understand that because I get it, you've won way more than we have, and I understand that. But when you're an ambitious club that's showing year in, year out that you're winning stuff every year in a very competitive league like Premier League, it's why a lot of players stay. Like if Rodri signs a new deal with us, it would surprise me because players like Rodri and players like that, they're used to the club, but they know that the club's mentality is all about winning. And I think I'm not this year with the UCL. We'll talk about it later on, but the UCL obviously is this year is the most open it's been. I know you're playing probably. I'll probably say you're probably the better team right now in current form, but it's not by loads. I'm going to say. I think Arsenal aren't that good. That's going to sound mental. I say that coming from me, but Arsenal for me don't really move because yes, they're getting wins, but it's not battering team. They're just getting over the line, and like it's all well and good, but you know yourself at some point you got to stop beating teams comfortably rather than resting on your laurels and that. I'm just this season, especially on for more. I think it's good. It's definitely a good chance for us to go and win it. I know it's obviously we're going to rebuild ourselves right now, but I just feel like this year could be a year for us to go and get it. Obviously, we've got you if we could beat Madrid. Well, first off, actually win our games before we start saying who we're going to get. Because again, Europe's a humbler. You can never assume you're going through. Madrid right now are in a free fall, but we ain't through yet. Go and beat them. Then I can celebrate us going through. I need to actually, you know it yourself, one game at a time.
100%.
You play them. You can't.
1,000%. Yeah, because
you
know, like, and that's the thing, you know, and I do believe, like, for us personally, Bayern Munich, like, we should look forward to, you know, who we're going to get. Maybe we go against Liverpool in the semi-final. We can get past all these teams. You know, the next round. We're looking forward to that. But at the same time, like, you do have to get past the opponent that's in front of you. And you know, we've seen it with Bayern, let alone Man City. You know what I mean? Like, any team can turn up. Look at Bodo Glimt this season.
You know what I mean?
Like. So, yeah, no, I'm fully with it. But yeah, obviously then you got Pep, and then Sterling's downfall is crazy. Like, he was an okay player at Liverpool. Then you got him and made him a world-class player. You know, yes, he runs like this. But like at the same time, he's a good player. And then out of nowhere, the guy's gone downhill. He's playing bloody Netherlands now, I think.
Yeah, that guy for me, I think, is just a pet player, and he won't ever accept that. But I think for him, his career ended after he went after FC, because it's like Leroy Sané, bro. Leroy Sané was at his best under Pep Guardiola. He got the absolute best out of both players. Like that, then both together with Aguero up front, with one of the most lethal front three. Obviously, it wasn't Firmino, Mane, Salah, but it was up there. So I'd say maybe the second best front three, and well, I should know. Well, Ronaldo, Benzema, and Bale. You know what I mean? It's one of them ones, but it was one of the best front threes in the world at that point. But the problem is, both Sterling thought he was better than what he was. And I think I think he left feeling that he deserved better than what he was getting, even though he didn't deserve to be playing at all. Because his last year for us, I'll be honest with you, right, he wasn't great at all. He wasn't, and there's a reason why we let him go. So it's a sad one, because I thought I will always rate him for how good he was, because he won. Obviously, he was unbelievable for us. He won us cups and leagues and that, obviously in big games on his own. But you could always tell there was a player there that was still lacking confidence, especially in front of goal. Like that Leon game, like that miss, like that tells you all you need to know. Like if that's Aguero, that's a goal. That's Haaland, that's a goal. They even think, whether they're even looking, it's a goal, because they know they're a striker. That's what I mean. Like that's why players like, I mean, look, Sané, I understand why he went. It's Bayern Munich, it's Germany, he's German. Some players will want to go to back home. Like if Rodri, with Rodri, if he wants to go back to Spain and play for Madrid or Barca, I know it's not because he doesn't like us. And it's like, look, he wants to go home. Fair enough. You know what? You've been here 6-7 years of your career with us in the Premier League. You've been, I don't know one of the best DMs in the world, or best DM in the world past few years. I can't really blame you for wanting to go back at some point. Like it almost felt like some players just want to go, but with Sterling, mate, for me, it's a shame, because I was so happy for him when he broke through, and of all the hate he got from Liverpool fans and that, and the way he sort of scored goals and that, he was shutting everyone up. Even for England as well. England, the way he was doing for it well, but like we both know, it's just his mentality wasn't always there, and that's probably why he wouldn't. He had that one great year that he had, and then ever since then, just never. That was it, sadly.
Yeah, no, 1,000. Because obviously he was even performing for England at that time as well, wasn't he? No, he was doing good for England as well. So, no, I'm with you. I'm with you fully. What was your opinion when you got Erling Haaland?
I was buzzing, because the thing is, right, a lot of people say about, you're going Madrid, Barcelona for about 2 years. But you don't understand. Like, the guy has grown up supporting this club, and he has literally said, even when we were at Dortmund, he was watching our games growing up. He was at the League Cup final in 2014 when we won 3-1 at Sunderland with his dad. Like, he's a City fan. Like, he signed a long-term contract. Yes, a lot of money, fair enough, but for a reason. To keep someone like that for that long, you bear in mind in the echelons of the Mbappes and that, for how good they both are. That is a statement in itself that shows you he wants to be. I think for me, if he ever leaves, it'll be after he beats Shearer's record, because at that point he'll win a few more leagues with us. Maybe another UCL. So I mean, knowing him, he probably want to beat, on UCLs, try and get 4 if he can with us, and then say, you know what, done my job, I'm off to La Liga. But the thing is, for me, right, when we first signed him, and look, everyone thought, when Robert Jennings said, he won't score more than 15 goals, like, you don't understand. This guy was born in this country. Do you really think he wasn't made for English football? Like, the guy is built like a brick shithouse, and is rapid. Like, he is made for this league, like anything. Like, Bundesliga and Premier League is definitely, I would say, the physicality is quite similar. It's probably why players like De Bruyne have done well to go England, Germany, back to England again. Marmoush is a different one, because that's a different conversation. I think Marmoush is a good player, but I don't think he suits our style. But that's different. But Gundogan, from Dortmund, great player for Dortmund, brilliant player for Dortmund, captain them and that. And obviously, UCL final goal against you, obviously lost 2-1, but he leaded him very well. Came over to us, one of the best midfielders in the world at one point. Just that, like, this is what I mean. Like, the reason why City go and buy players from Germany, because most of the time, Mamouche is a different one, but they work because people disrespect that league way too much, man. They really do. Like, there are some ballers in that league. There's some ball like if we're going off to players right in the Bundesliga, that's for a good reason. Like Company from Hamburg, we don't know who he was. Midfielder came in, centre back, one of the backs in the league in history as well. Just Colossus. Jekko from Wolfsburg. We got him for I think
yes.
Wolfsburg. Yeah, brilliant. Wolfsburg came up to us. Brilliant for us. Like De Bruyne, Wolfsburg. Gundogan, obviously that's Marmouche as well, and obviously Haaland from Dortmund. This thing, we shop in that league because we know how good that league is. Like Serie A, right? Reinders for me has been alright in terms of G&A and stats. He's actually been that bad of a player, but we don't do Serie A very often. Liga, we're starting to now. Obviously, Donnarumma and Cherky we got in there, both been very good this season so far. But Cherky's been in and out of the squad, but he's shown a lot already. I can see why we got him in because he's that good. But Haaland was just the player that, for me, it was like, this is a franchise statement signing. Like, we won the league and we signed Haaland. Like, I said straight away, UCL's ours. Like, because I thought, this is the guy we needed all along. Because we've had De Bruyne, the best creator. I know people will say Modric and De Bruyne's the one player I always wonder, right, if it was a bit unlucky with the Ballon d'Or. Because at times he could have won it himself. Maybe once or twice. Because unfortunately, it was an era where Ronaldo and Messi were still a thing still at the time and still having their bit. Like, but De Bruyne could very easily have got like that year that Benzema won the Ballon d'Or. If we had beaten Madrid in that semi-final and beaten Liverpool in the final, I think Kevin De Bruyne wins the Ballon d'Or. I think no one argues that at all because in the same year he beat Wolves 5-1 and he scored 4 goals in the game. like that guy was inevitable in Europe. He was just like, every big game, bang, goal. It's just, and that's the kind of play. And when you got him and I think Haaland's that, it was never, but what was going to happen? And franchise signing, statement signing for me. What I'm trying to recall what obviously playing Forest right now, and also playing Brighton right now at the moment. Obviously, and we're 0-0 right now. They're winning 1-0, but I just want to make sure that obviously we win our game rather than Arsenal cares, but. Haaland to me is the kind of player that in a big game like a Madrid and a Barcelona, I think before it wasn't, but now I'm like, I trust him more now. I think he's learning now not to sort of just go ball hogging or box crashing. He's now all about just actually working around the whole pitch now and being more of an all round player. But to me, mate, Haaland was an unbelievable sign, and he is an unbelievable sign for how much for that release clause as well. By the way, that release clause, like I know it's like, but the wages. What are we adding wages in for? Is it because you don't like how we got a player for a cheap price because Dortmund screwed up putting that release clause in his contract? Don't blame us. Blame Dortmund for putting that in there. So, yeah.
No, I'm with you because we were the ones going against you to get him. We were the guys that like us trying and pushing for Haaland made Lewandowski leave because people don't understand. Unless you watch other leagues and you understand what's going on. Lewandowski never wanted Barcelona. Lewandowski wanted to go to Real Madrid. That was his move. We were 2 seasons before that, he was linked to Real Madrid. And then obviously we went in for Erling Haaland. He was playing in our league, obviously for Dortmund. We were pushing for him. Obviously, you guys have way more financial backing, so you paid him more wages. And then obviously, as well as his dad playing there, him being a fan, so on and so forth. But like he could have come to us, and then Lewandowski obviously pushed to go out, and then obviously. Yeah, because you mentioned the treble season, the game you smashed us 3-0 and Roger scored that banger. I was there.
Yeah, I'll be honest, right? I mean, like Leipzig the game before won 7-0, right? And who was in defence for Leipzig at that time? Vardiol. The year after we got Vardiol, but Vardiol we all knew was good anyway. Well, straight away, like Guardiola for me is a player that will get better and better for us anyway. But the Bayern game, that Rodri goal, I just couldn't believe what I was watching there. Like Rodri, that game, bro, like the way he hit that as well. It's like top left corner as well. Like Sommer had no chance that game. Yeah, like Sommer as well actually did well that game as well. It was a lot of good. If it wasn't for him, it'd been 4 or 5, and then probably maybe 6 at times. Like, yeah, like that was probably where I said, you know what, it's our year. Because I just thought this team wants it. They want it. Like they're all locked in. Like when Allianz, like I said before, just I'm thinking let's see how we do, but they went there. Yeah, it was a draw, but the mentality we showed, like our mentality now going away to like Barca and Madrid now and whatever, we're not scared of it anymore. We're like, you know what, we've been here before, but obviously respect who we're playing against. That you go there to go on the win.
Mhm.
I think that year you kind of knew, yeah, this is their year. Like they just locked in, like even Haaland's cross from Bernardo Silva's header, but the way he sort of chipped it in and like Grealish's back heel, like I thought they're just like the confidence in that team at that time. And I say, we're in that period now, mate. Well, we're on March the 4th today. We're going into crunch time now for everyone now. Again, obviously, we're right now halfway through. Well, first half drawing 0-0 for us, obviously so far. But the thing is, if we get our shit together, we've got a very chance of going far in competitions, and that's because our squad's a good squad. And when that squad comes together and starts performing, becomes a whole different team. And yeah, that season, mate, like everyone was performing so at their skin, but yeah, that Bayern game for me just showed, yeah, we're serious finally. Yeah,
because I was in with the City fans because I could only get tickets to the away fans. Obviously, Bayern's away fans are really really good, so I could only get tickets in the home end, and yeah, man. Obviously, I had my Bayern shirt on under my coat. Obviously, I'm not trying to get beaten up, but like, yeah. And I wasn't right behind the goal in the lower tier. I was up in one of the higher tiers, but I was on the side that he scored that goal, and I just remember it going in, and I'm like, yeah, because I wanted to cancel my tickets at that time because we just sacked Julian Nagelsmann. I was Thomas Tuchel out the day he walked in the door, and I was obviously going to go because I spent a lot of money on the tickets, and I took my missus with me and so on. But like, yeah, my word, like what a goal, what a game. Obviously we didn't have Matt Manor in goal, but there was always credit to you guys because you actually performed. You know what I mean? And you beat us fair and square in that game.
I did say I was gutted that Neuer was injured because I wanted to see Ederson versus Neuer. I just wanted to see it. Like, you know what? Screw it. Both them two are mental anyway. Let's see both of them at one point in the same pitch, each other trying to tackle towards each other. Like Ederson at the time was doing some mad. Like, I love Ederson. I know we've got probably a better keeper in terms of what he does now for us, but Ederson at times, like what he was doing on the ball and like the way he was picking the ball out of nowhere, like you couldn't ask for a better like Neuer alternative than Ederson because I think Neuer's better shot stopper. I think always has been a better shot stopper. I think, but in terms of on the ball, Ederson's probably because you'll never get to Neuer in terms of on the ball and out of goal. So I'm glad we never saw that. I'm glad we never saw Neuer versus Ederson. It's a shame.
No, 1000. What made you want to do YouTube, bro?
Oh, good question. For me, right, I've been doing like YouTube content. 1-0 City. Semenyo again, bro. This guy's scoring like skulls galore. Sorry.
No, you don't need to apologize. I know the game's going on.
Semenyo, this guy, man, like, he hasn't even been that good. Like, probably he's banging like 7 or 8 goals in his first few games. Mental, right? Yeah. Back on to what to do about YouTube. I've been doing content on YouTube for about City for years, but it never really got anywhere because I just found that I wasn't competent with it. I just felt like I wasn't really I was doing it on my own, but I just felt like I don't want to do it on my own. I want to do it with someone else or other people. I felt like right this, like chatting to someone. I can't do it on my own because on my own I feel like I'm just getting bored of myself here. I'm getting bored of the chat. Like when there's a chat, it's all right because the chat can sort of chat with me about stuff. We can have a laugh and that, a bit of banter and that. But that's what I love about doing YouTube because it's that kind of camaraderie with the chat you got. But I joined the channel called the 1894 podcast back
Mhm.
in 2020, I think. Yeah. They were good lads. It was good. And one of the guys ended up going on the Big Six show.
Okay.
Hugh, he was the guy on there. And they invited me at the time because they knew who I was in that, and invited me on to join them. And it was good. It was good, but it felt like after a while, like I just wasn't really like being thought of on doing the shows. I kind of thought that they brought me on and they gave it a go, and I just thought again, look, it's up to them. But I thought I can't really do this. Like I want to do my own stuff. Like because when you're part of a channel, like and you can't have control of it, you feel like I'm just sat here waiting for them to call with me. That's not really right. So I said, you know what, I'm done. I don't chat to them anymore, really, but that's for other reasons. But it is what it is. I just find that what I need to do my own stuff. I should it's like having your own channel. Like trying, I don't care if I'm like 1.3 to as low. Like subs with me will go up and go down, but like for me, it's just
Yeah, of
doing
course.
it and having fun. Like and just chatting about City, chatting about football in general, other stuff as well, which I don't want to talk about it. It's just I do it because it gives me a chance to just sort of I still work obviously day to day anyway, but I come home, watch a bit of City, chat with everyone, a bit of banter and that. Talk with other people like yourself or other shows. Like,
Mhm.
obviously, I go on as it on Zier's show now. Obviously, I know Alf's back obviously now from a break, but I said to Alf, if you ever need a night off ever or whatever, I don't mind going on. So obviously, there's more people now. Obviously, you can do it, and I find that I enjoy a lot. I enjoy a lot more the European shows. Chat to other fans of Europe. I do chatting to Arsenal United and other fans because those
Yeah.
fans just chat shit about us all the time. It's like we get it, you don't like us, cool. But with you guys, it's a lot more about just Europe and chatting football and having standards for your own club. Like that's actually quite refreshing. But it's nice to sort of just talk about my club because some of our players are world class, actually rated by some fans around Europe rather than just hated on and compared to like Declan Rice. Get out of it, man! I'm not having that. Like I'm not having a one Arsenal game against Madrid make him a better player than Rodri. No, like can Rice win a tournament for his country like the way he did, the year after winning a treble? No, exactly. Like, and again, I like Declan Rice. He's English. I like him, but I don't. With English players, you know it yourself, right? I will
Yeah.
not overrate them. Phil Foden, I love him to bits. I think he's brilliant. Is he world class? No. I don't care if people or not. Yeah, world class. Has he got ability? Of course he does. Brilliant ability for Foden, but he's not doing it every year. I can't call someone world class when I'm not doing it every year. That's just the way I. That's my standards of world class. You've got to be doing it year in, year out, not just one brilliant year, then fall off next year and come back a little bit. It has to be year in, year out for me. That's just how I am with players. But and that's what and that's how I am on my show, bro. I don't care if people don't like my opinion. Like as I said before, don't subscribe if you don't like it. It's end of the day, right? You aren't entitled to. If you hate me, all right, cool. But it's a football show, a football channel from a fan's point of view. It's up to you if you like it or not. But I love doing it because I can just talk about football without having to follow a certain agenda. It's how I feel. I want to talk about.
No,
It's
I
great.
hear it. I hear it, and that should be what it's about. But again, like we spoke about at the start of the show, people will always be dickheads, mate. Unfortunately, that's just life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, definitely. What are you into anything else? Because obviously we've been talking about City and so on. You into any like movies or anything?
Yeah, I watch films, I play video games, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm kind of like, see, it is right. You're growing up, being a nerd growing up was seen as a real like you got bullied for it. Now that you're a nerd now, no one cares. Like, I wasn't I wasn't like a Magic the Gathering Yu-Gi-Oh card. No, I wasn't like that at school. I was more like I love my superhero movies and Star Wars stuff. I loved that kind of cool stuff. I loved video games and playing that when I got home from that. I still play it stuff. I play it now. I'm just that kind of person where I just chill out, play like a really cool video game, like story mode when I get from work. I play. I go gym every now and again, a bit of whatever, but also play a bit of music as well. I'm quite I like being busy and having something to do in the evening. That's why I love doing YouTube because when you do a show, I can sort of just chat for like an hour or so and chat with someone and get it out there. Like again, like, like with views, right? Sometimes you get great views, sometimes you don't get really, but I don't really care. As long as people are enjoying what I'm doing, that's all I care about. And people are enjoying what I'm doing, and I was busy. I'm happy. That's how I am.
No, I'm with it. I'm with that. Like, and again, it should be fun. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be sat there thinking, this. And obviously, as YouTubers, we do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't get it twisted. I've had days where the video hasn't, like, I put my effort in, all of my effort into to a video or whatever, and like, it's taken longer to edit than I've actually made the video, and then the video doesn't do the views that you want it to do, and then you just get in your own head and so on. But like, does it
Yeah,
really matter? Yes, because I've just put effort into it. But
yeah,
like, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, people are controlling your destiny. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and that, and that's why I started the pod, because again, like I said before, and I said on the show, like, I just love talking. I can talk about anything. Like, we'll talk about movies in a minute, but like, I can generally talk about anything. You know what I mean? And I'm a very opinionated person. I'm sure you've seen me on certain shows where I'm like very, very opinionated on things. And do I get
Yeah.
everything right? No, but I will always stay true to myself. So movie wise, you said superheroes,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm all in. What we saying? All superhero films or
See, for me, right, my first one I watched was Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. That was my first ever film. Now, I couldn't watch it when I was 4 because obviously a bit young. Because the X-Men movies and that I had to watch, well, I kind of catch up with before watching them when I was like 8, 9 years old. So
yeah,
I watched them growing up. I love them. Like, I just like, I mean, I read the comic books a bit more when I was like 10, 11 years old and really got into like the X-Men like animated series and that. And so I got into more the animated stuff. And my mum's a big Spider-Man fan, so obviously I got that from her and that. And
okay,
obviously watching the film this year when it comes out. But that I'm just been I've watched the entire Marvel MCU from the very start. I've watched every single movie from the start when I was like 8 years old. Like I'm lucky to have done that. I'm lucky to have grown up in a time where I could watch like some of these movies, right, and these franchises when they're like Game of Thrones and that when it came. Obviously, it's shit ending, but I, I'm
facts.
lucky. I'm lucky to have watched this stuff when it came out. I think
Yes.
my kids when I grow up, I'd say, "Oh, when I watch all the way through, are you kidding me? like, good luck." They got like 85 films to watch now. Like when I was there, I watched every single one when it came out every year, and I loved every single moment of it. And that's I don't care if people want going partying like cool. Like I love a drink much as anyone else does, but I find that you've got to be true to yourself and enjoy what you want to enjoy. Don't just do something that everyone else is doing because they're doing it and they're having fun with it. Like you should do what you want to do. Like
Yeah.
my life for me, right, is going out with people that I care about and that be a family or friends. Obviously, I haven't got many friends myself, but it's because I'm with me. It's all about someone that should gives energy, much as I give them energy. I can't be doing this whole one sided thing. I'm not. You know yourself, right? I'm not doing any of that rubbish. Like I just if you got a life, cool. We all got a life, but it doesn't mean you have to sort of go ghost and go on your own bloody thing.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different tangent. But I'm just happy like doing what I'm doing. Like, I love gonna watch all these films. I don't care if I'm like 26 this year. I will still watch the film because I grew up watching them. Like and
Yeah.
like when I actually have kids, they can watch them with well, not straight away. Some of these ones are very mature still. Like when you're old enough, you can watch them. But like
Yeah.
I'm I'm grateful that my dad took me to go and see him, took my mum got to go see him. I'm just happy that I grew up in a time where I could appreciate all these films that came out. And I watched for the first time this year is that Lord of the Rings in cinemas for the first time when it came out for an anniversary, and I watched that in cinemas, and I was blown away how good it was. And I'm lucky that I grew up in a decade in 2000s where this stuff was coming out, and it
Yeah.
was just yeah. So I'm a big film guy, big being TV shows, just everything like that. Love it.
No, I'm with it. Who's your go-to character?
Oh, that's a good because everyone says Spider Man. I'm a big Spider Man guy. I am,
Yeah.
but I think he's a bit different because he's not really. He transcends the Marvel's universe. Like he's just you can watch any of the three guys and you love them. Me, for
Yeah.
me, I probably would say it's Iron Man because for me, Iron Man was the first film that I watched in cinemas for the MCU, and I'm a big fan of Robert Downey Jr. as well as an actor. I think he's
Okay.
brilliant,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that film to me, like for what it was as well at the time. Like, and we now know about how it was created and how like it was quite jumbled and like behind the scenes. Without that film, you went to the Avengers. And that Avengers film is for me one of the best ones I've ever watched in cinemas. Like I was 12. I was 12 years old on my birthday. I watched that in cinemas the first time, and I was blown away how good that was. And I think without Iron Man, I think for me, it wouldn't get all the stuff you have now. So that's my guy, Iron Man.
Okay, no, I'm with it. Mine's Captain America.
To be fair, Captain America: Civil War is probably one of the best films in the MCU. Just purely because you understand both sides' point of view, where they're coming from, because you respect that they both got an opinion, but the fact that they still go through with it on either side, and the ending is so heartbreaking because Tony rightfully crashes out, and rightfully so. And Cap, it's one of the movies that I say when you're an adult, you appreciate even more. When you're a kid, you enjoy the fights and that. When you're an adult, you appreciate it even more.
No, I'm with that fully. Like, yeah. That's a bit weird. It kind of feels like you've just spoken to me in that sense, and I'm like, yeah, took the words out of my mouth. No,
man. Yeah.
You mentioned Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your go-to for that?
Well, I was named after Luke Skywalker. So my mum and dad actually are big Star Wars fans, so I grew up watching anyway. I'm called Luke, after Luke Skywalker. So I've got to back the guy that I'm named after, really. But it's him or him, Anakin or Ahsoka for me. I watched Clone Wars growing up when I was a kid. The anime. Ahsoka Tano is for me like we were talking about strong female characters and that, and how annoying they can be. But she is the best one written. Like she was an annoying little brat, and became one of the badass Jedi swords. Like I'm so pleased they managed to bring her into the universe because I thought she deserves to be in it for how great she is in. When I got to see the Ahsoka TV show, I got to see a flashback of her younger with Hayden Christensen's Anakin. I thought, I'm 8 years old again. I that something like that, mate. You know it yourself. You just it hits you right in the heart because you're like, that's what I grew up watching Cartoon Network as a kid, and I watched Clone Wars on Saturdays every Saturday when it came out. So again, like people say, I know I'm like, I know I'm not like. I think people in their 30s and 20s, I think, are pretty much on the same sort of wavelength. Like we kind of like we've watched sort of like the, but all my mates are like mostly in their 30s now, but they watch the same stuff that I watched. So it's kind of like we understand because we get that hype and that's what we watch now. I mean, even now, I'll still watch stuff even now because it's still good. Like this stuff, mate. That's so good when we were kids, but still so mature now. Is why I love it because it's still got mature themes that you can still appreciate and enjoy even now. That's the beauty of them kind of shows, man. Star Wars is like that as well. Yeah, it's cool. Like Surf Fights and they're awesome to watch on the big screen. But I watched episode 1 of Phantom Menace on cinemas, and when I got to see that Darth Maul fight with, I was like, I'm happy. Like I've got to see some of the best bits of music as well in film played in a cinema. Like the bit when Anakin fights Obi-Wan is one of the most emotional fights ever, and I did cry a bit. Yeah, I thought because I see it hundreds of times, but it hits the big screen. It hits like you feel the emotion of it, and like I know that I've lost friends and that myself for different things. It hits home even more. So yeah,
I'm with you. Mine's Vader. I just think the power.
Oh, mate, Vader Anakin, mate, is one of the best characters done in film comic history because to go from a fallen character, a guy that just wanted to look after his friends and his family and protect them, so that being used against him by a dictator, someone who wants to control power. It's probably one of the best. Like it's why I love the trilogy. It's why I love all 6 movies because they've all just got so much about them. And like when I do again, like, I mean, look, I mean, for me, obviously, I'm not bothered if I have a missus that doesn't really watch that kind of stuff because obviously it's my thing anyway. But just films like that, just even when I'm like in my 30s almost now, I will always hit me because that's just what I grew up with. And I have experiences in my own life, like because I'm actually disabled myself. I'm actually disabled, so I was born with a disability growing up. So I've grown up for most of my life being in hospital. That's what I always knew up till about the age of, I'd say, 14, 15. When I could start, obviously I can walk, and I'm grateful for that. Honestly, walking is one of the most underrated things people do. Like, the fact you can do that,
Yes.
some people don't know can't do it ever. Like, you appreciate what you can get as well. I say, like,
Yeah,
we all struggle with things, but if you can walk and do whatever you want to do, then you're lucky in yourself for having that. That's what I'll say. But yeah, so for all these stuff, the experiences that I've seen in film or anything like that, still all that helped me get through tough moments in my life, and that's why I'm always a positive person. I said, you know what, it's so easy being negative. Let's just enjoy what's out there. Like, that's why I do. That's why I do this. That's why I do like other stuff in my life, because I want to do stuff that I enjoy and stuff that I love doing, and that's what I do. I love just talking to people, chatting, football, film, TV. I just love that. I love that. That's who I am. That's what I always will be in my life, mate.
No, I'm with you. Do you want to get into the disability?
Yeah, of
Or
course, mate. No, I'm honestly, mate, I'm open book on that kind of stuff. Yeah. So for me, I was born with a condition called talipes or club feet. The song Kasabian played Clubfoot. That one. That's a favorite. One of my favorite ever songs for that reason. But I've heard it live 2 or 3 times by the band, and a great song. I'll hear it live anyway. But yeah, I was born with that. So walking was difficult when I was very young. So again, some things like football and that weren't really something that I thought about, because it was just about getting
of course.
through it and that, and when you go through something like that, you sort of, your life experience and the way you are, it changed completely, because you're not focused on all of these little things and that, and like, and the hang-ups of life. If you focus on just getting through each day, and that's just how that was, and so again, unfortunately, I was bullied at school for it. Kids are absolute assholes, mate. Sadly, as we all know,
Yeah.
some people are really good and really looked out for me. Like, again, when I was at school, right, and with football, right, I was always pit lad because people thought I'd be shit at it. But every time I played, I proved everyone wrong, because people always assume they know more. They know because of how you're going to be,
Of
which is
course.
why I think we need to stop doing that, man. Like, there are people out there that just, that are different, that are born differently or have different things going on in their life. We're all handed a deck of cards in life. Everyone's different from each other, but it's not a bad thing. It's how you play the game that counts. Play cards well, we do well in life. Don't play them
Yeah.
well, then you get what you deserve out of it. That's how I've always been. So I just look forward to just enjoying rather than focusing on all the small things, the crappy things that people are going about now. I focus on just having a laugh, having a good chat, having a playing football where I can. Because I actually played for a disability team. I played for Southampton disability team. I mean, they've recently come back recently, so I'll start playing for them again soon. But when I was growing up, that got me out of the house on Sundays. I was able to play for the club. I played against Chelsea United's disability teams. I played against actually Barcelona and Madrid's ones, the Bayern's ones actually in Europe and that. It was a lot of fun, mate. And when you get to meet different kids from around the world, that different things that are similar to what you are, you know that you aren't alone. And this is quite deep, but this is just how I am. Like,
No, 100%.
to anyone like who watches this, right, who's maybe disability themselves, just know that you aren't alone in that. Like, you might be different to me with what you have, but as long as you don't use that to, like, you use that sort of for good. Like, so you find a good thing out of it, and sort of and just think positively, because it's so easy to be so stuck down and in the dumps, and I've been there a number of times. I've had mental health issues, before, and I've been there, but I managed to get out of it through therapy, and obviously, and get myself out there and do other things. Like, I'm not saying it's easy to cure, it's not, but you find a way to keep going every day, and then eventually you sort of get more happier at life, and you enjoy life more and more. That's what I do, and I think without my disability, I wouldn't be the person I am today anyway. I wouldn't be, like,
Feel
when,
like it.
I go, I got to Manchester. I'm a lot. I do a lot of walking now. Like, I can walk quite a long time now. I used to walk. I can walk about 10 minutes. I can sit down now. I can walk about 2 or 3 hours now. I can sit down
Nice.
because
Yep.
I train myself to walk. I think I'm actually going to do a well, this is more of a preliminary announcement, but I'm actually going to I'm going to focus on doing a charity thing for on my own show at some point for my disability, people who have what I've got, so I can get more awareness to it, because it's quite common than you think. Stephen Jarrett actually had it
Wow.
when
Okay.
he was born, but he managed to get it sorted because it was only in 1 foot. But yeah, my mum found it out, and yeah, he is actually born with disability growing up. So it shows that it can be done. Like, there's no like people can still find a way around things, even when even they're born with something. Like, it doesn't mean at the end of the world. It means that, you know what, is what it is.
Yeah.
You keep fighting on.
No, man, that's sick. Like, you know, I love that mentality. You know, me personally, you know, I don't have anything like that. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I have. Like, obviously, I've got my own problems. You know, me personally, I struggle with mental health, and I have IBS. So you know, they are my struggles. But no, that's cool. Thank you for sharing that, because that is like, yeah, that's inspiring in the fact that at the end of the day, no matter what, you need to push through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm damn sure, you know, I definitely take things for granted, 100%. You know what I mean? Like we all do. Don't get it twisted, but like, yeah, that's see, I wouldn't have known that. You know what I mean? Without you telling me. So that's cool, man.
I'm not afraid to talk about it. It's that I think the thing is that people just feel like they feel awkward. Almost they feel awkward. Like, no, you shouldn't feel awkward about it. It's fine. Like,
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine talking to people about about me. Perfect, because again, if people have an issue with that, then they're basically I won't say that.
yeah.
People have
100%.
an issue with it, then you know exactly what kind of person they are.
Yeah, low life.
You know what I mean? Most people that I've met about it have been so like impressed with how I've dealt with it. I say, well, it doesn't. You don't judge me on that. You judge me on who I am. Like, therefore, anyone can be a twat. Anyone.
Yes.
Like, you judge someone not on the colour of their skin, disability, whatever that kind of stuff, sexuality, whatever that kind of stuff. You judge them on whether they're a bell end. If they're a bell end, they're a bell end because they're a bell end, not because of what they are. It's how it is, how it should be.
Facts. Like, literally, if we didn't have other things to talk about, I should just end the pod. Mic drop. Bosh. Like fully. Games. What sort of game? Like games are you into? Like, what was your thing?
Well, see, I wasn't really exclusively a one console guy. Like my dad played PS1, so I played that a little bit when I was growing up. But
yeah,
I had the original Xbox as well because I played Halo, and Halo Combat Evolved for me, right, was an experience that I will. And I'm pleased that they're doing it on PS now. I'm like, because I can play now on both consoles now. I don't have to worry about But although I'm gutted though, because Xbox has fallen off massively. And don't be wrong, right? I've always been a big fan of Sony and PS, because on the PS do some great story games. Like Last of Us is an emotional game that even to this day I'm still playing and loving it, even like 10, 15 years later that I played it. Resident Evil was one of my favorite franchises ever because it's a zombie game, but the story behind it and all the puzzles you have to do with it and fighting zombies off. Like, I'm not sure if you've ever played it before, but like, it's Resident Evil is what. Have you got PS5 at all, or have you got Xbox?
No, I got an Xbox. Resident Evil.
Okay.
No, I don't think I've ever played it.
No, okay. If you ever get a chance to get a PS5 or whatever, do it and play some of these story games, because trust me, you will have a lot of fun doing it for that reason. Because some of these games, like Ghost of Tsushima, and that on this game as well, like Japanese samurai game, like
that's one of the games I want. Yeah.
If I were you, right, get a PS5, not for like COD, but get it for like the story games like that. If you want me to recommend some games to you, I'll do that for you after show or another time anyway. I miss you anyway. But genuinely, right, anyone watching this pod, right, I'm sure they'll have a look if you're watching it. If you ever want to play some like good story games, for me, right, play the Resident Evil franchise, because I know it's sort of zombies, but there's a lot more than that of how deep the story goes.
Yeah.
Last of Us is very emotional because I'm not sure, obviously, if you have you got a daughter or a son. I'm not sure what you've got, but like
daughter.
The game's about a father who loses his daughter during the beginning of a zombie outbreak, tragically, and he has he grows up quite bitter because of what happened, which fair enough, anyone would do after losing their daughter the way they did.
Of course.
But then he has to take a young girl who would have been about his daughter's age
Okay.
to safety. And although there's initial like coming together at times, he ends up treating her like his own daughter. And I think for you that will hit even more because stuff like that. Like I know if I have a daughter one day, it'll be the same thing with a work player because I think when you are a parent, it's a bit different because you haven't got that kind of like understanding. Obviously, I've got cousins that are younger, and I sort of look after them and make sure that, and obviously I'm caring for them, but they're not your own flesh and blood. You know what I mean? So, but it's games like that. Like I love it. Like for me, I love playing pro clubs. Obviously, I play pro clubs. I was on Zier's channel every weekend. I'm done with Ultimate Team now. I've retired now.
For Ultimate Team, what do you do personally? Like, are you a player that just gets all of the meta players, or how do you play? Because
I do a City Evo team. City Evo.
Okay, so you basically just told me what I do, but what you do. So that's exactly what I do. So for the start of the game, I was just doing the men's team. Then eventually I got bored of doing the men's team. So now I have a full evoed women's team.
That's what I have, mate. I've got like, mate, Bunny Shaw, right, is one of my favourite players, women players, because honestly, I went to watch us play Chelsea and we battered them 5-1 at Etihad, and we absolutely cooked them. Like our subs came on and schooled Lauren James out about. I thought, like this team when it goes Europe, I think this City team when they get a couple more players in through the door, could very much go on to have because I think. Because in the UCL, to be fair, we've done well. We beat Barcelona 2-0 with Mati Puteas, and we absolutely bossed them. So we can do it. It's that fortunately we had a shit manager, and it cost us a few players to get out the door. But our women's team is so much better now because it's got actual spine. It's got Miedemar, Bunny Shaw, like them two up together.
You took Logan off, didn't you?
Logan, she's great as well. She's great. I watched her. She's really good as well. Like. And we've got Sam Coffey as well as a really upcoming American player. I mean, we've always bought well with the Rose Laval we had for a bit, Kylo we had for a bit, and apparently we're after Sophia Wilson, looking at her as well. Apparently, like if we get Sophia Wilson and Bunny Shaw and Lauren Hemp, we are going to cook everyone.
Right, if you can pull her out of America, that would be nuts.
Well, the thing is, we've got Sam Coffey, who's quite a popular figure in the women's American team. I think that's quite good because we can get a bit of pull with a couple of younger players. Again, anyone who's not sure how to get the women's football right, just play an Ultimate Team, get through the players, learn the names, and start watching some of the games. Because I watch their games a lot now. Like I've been watching them for like the past good 10, 12 years, 11, 12 years now. I've been watching them for. I've been watching them was it George Stanway? Obviously, know who she is. She's from City. She's a City fan, a City girl. I'm glad she went. I do hope that I know she's leaving into the season. I hope we do get her back, but I doubt it. I think because I get it. Like when she was our player, she was a really good player for us. Like she was obviously coming from England as well. And is it Akira Walsh as well? Is another player that obviously we had as well. Caroline Weir. Well, we had quite a few like the English players that gone on. Obviously, like Lucy Bronze as well. Lucy Bronze is another player that we had at City for a few years. So no, honestly, right, I'm like you. I love playing with women's players. Obviously, I just find you know what? Let's just evo them because I'll tell you right. Like Nunes is gonna get upgraded to like 87 anyway. Like Haaland's like most of these guys anyway. Like Husnov, I'm upgrading quite a lot. I like him. Husnov's my guy right now. That I'm sort of building into a B centre back. I've got the Vito Hayes at Echeverri that I'm sort of building onto the lone players. Now I'm just doing that like more because most of our first team players like Semenya and Gahey, they actually get upgrades down lines because they make the main players. Whereas if I get like the like Rico Lewis and that and players like that, you know, Divine Mucasa's at Leicester now, players like that, I'll use them and build them up because they're City related players. But yeah, I'm more of women's. Yeah, like you know, I'm more focused on that because it's just a lot more fun. Because EA prioritize more the meta players in the women's game rather than all the other ones. And I just love evening up players to make them like as meta as they are in the game. That's what I like doing.
No, fully. After this, I'll show you my team. Because I love doing it as well. Like I play it every single night. And I don't play champs because that's just toxic.
Champs. I got one time I got was like 10 wins, like, I'm done. Because I'm sorry, the rewards are random. They're not guaranteed to you at all. I'm
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter how much I cook on there. I'm like, okay, I got good. Champs for me used to be worth something. When I was 17, 18, when I first did champs, it was sweaty as hell. But I got, was it out of 4 games, I got, was it 25 wins one time? And I got good rewards. Like, I thought I got 2 red picks out of it. I was like, right, this is what makes it worth it. I'll be honest, mate, it's boring now because everyone just quits now if they can't bother. It's like, it's the most, for me with EA, right? They've gone wrong with champs and everything like that because it's so sweaty now. People don't care anymore about the game, but they just care about getting sweaty meta cards rather than actually building it. Like Claudia Pina, I'm bored of playing Claudia Pina. I'm bored. Like
100%. Yes.
Like,
yeah.
no, don't get me wrong, she's a baller in real life, she's great, but like, bloody hell, man, I feel sorry for her, like, because it's not your fault. You're a really good player in real life, but like, it's the way they've made the game, like Rashford every bloody time. Like, oh wow, Rashford, what a surprise! I'm playing Rashford in your mail up front. Bloody hell, it's revolutionary, isn't it? Like, because I'm not sure whether you know, right, about some facts, right, as a Bayern fan. Elisa actually came from our academy.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew that he played for Chelsea for a little bit.
Yeah, before Reading, he was at our academy.
Oh right, okay.
Which, look, is what it is. Sadly,
so why did he not go? Why did you not call him up?
That's a good question, mate. Maybe at the time he wasn't playing well enough at the time to sort of maybe get in. But some players don't leave academy, go somewhere else and ball out and get better out of where. So he went Reading, balled out, went Palace, balled out with Zahara and Eze and that. And that Palace team, by the way, with them in it was good. But they went Bayern, and obviously at Bayern, mate, he's been balling out. I'm a big Elise fan. I'm not one of these fans that think, I know some Liverpool fans think that they'll get Elise out there. I don't think Elise is Bayern anyway. I think, because for us personally, Elise, right, as a City fan, like, would I'm a City? Yeah, I would, but we don't really necessarily need him now because we've really got like players like Semenya. And I'm not saying they're better than Elise, but I'm saying we've really got options there that we're using now. Like, there's no point us buying another player. Yeah, he's better than them, but what's the point of us getting him? Like, it's wasting. Like, I'd rather just say to Savino, you know what? You're 21 years old. You can get better and better as a player. Let's just say, you know what? You got a bit about you. Because I know people say he's crap. He's not a crap player. With him, it's finishing. Get his finishing sorted out. He can be a very good player, but it's up here. He's got to work on. But
Same
as a
player, Sterling's finishing was shit.
Exactly. Like,
and he comes to you and he's scoring loads of goals.
Well, look, we'll watch Savino, right? We've watched him, right? His dribbling is really, really good. His crossing is really, really good. Like, again, he can cross the ball without no one in the team. But, like, so some players need a bit of time. And that's fine. They're project players, like Husanov. He's getting better and better for us week in, week out now. Like, last year, right, at the Bernabeu against V Junior, he came into the team and he locked up V Junior. And he lost 3-1, but like the guy like playing right back is like third or fourth game for us. Like, impressive, I'll say, because look at him now. He's playing every now and again, obviously not all the time, but he's like 20, 21 years old, so he's going to get more time down the line. But and also, sorry, another fact: Jamal Musiala originally, before he went to Chelsea, played at Southampton Academy.
Yeah, I knew that one. I did know.
Mm-hmm.
That one I did.
I think he lived in my area actually, ironically. So, hey, and I'm a big Musiala fan. I'm a big. I know at one point we were after him at one point, but I don't know that's going to happen anymore. I think we got Cherky now. I can't go for 3 second midfielders and rotate, and that's not looking right though. But I can see why City wanted Musiala. I really can. Like, he's the kind of player that would. But I mean, I just don't think that's going to happen now, because even if he didn't get Cherky in, I just think he signed a new deal with you guys now. Like, and I just think like it is now a player can't leave because, but I just think we've chosen Cherky, which I think is a good move anyway. So I mean, for that price, by the way, it's an unbelievable price for him from Leon. I mean, although what I'm going to say, I'm not someone that's going to overglaze and say that he's like Bandor level right now. Like, he's got a long way to go. But if you've watched him, I'm sure you watched him when he's played for us.
Yep.
The technical ability on display is brilliant. Like, his passing ability.
Cherky.
Yeah, Cherky, yeah.
I wanted him when they were just heavily going for Verts. I'm like, Verts is like, he's doing this girl thing where she can get everyone and she's just playing hard to get. Go and get Cherky. Yeah.
We were like, nope. Because the thing with us, right? We don't mess about. If you mess us about, bye. Like, would have Wirtz been a good placement for De Bruyne? Yeah, he would have been. Because I think he's the kind of player that I've seen. I think that 17 shirt made it his own. But I thought, like, I've always thought it's either Bayern or City. And no matter who chooses there, like, if you went City, you'd be like, okay, that's frustrating, but you get it. Fair enough. Like, it's Pep. But Liverpool, I thought, why can Liverpool for? Why? Why can I don't get it. Like, what? Like, where's the German connection there? There's none. Like, with us, yeah, you had Gundogan, Haaland, you had De Bruyne. Like, I think Virtus playing like was De Bruyne, wasn't it? Was De Bruyne his hero? I think. I thought, well, obviously Kevin's not there anymore, but like, I mean, I never got. Don't get me wrong. Look, Shirky for me, obviously a player that I still think kind of works actually better for us now than before Foden and that anyway. But
Yeah.
I never understood that move, by the way, bro. I was like, what is he? Liverpool? Like, what? Like, I thought, you know what? Just either go Bayern or go us. Like, honestly, because at that point, right, if you go us for a few years, fair enough. Because at least that way you're in the Premier League, you probably get more physical as a result. Just have to adapt to the league anyway. And you come if you want to go back to go to Bayern afterwards, you can. That's what you can do. But I just. It's like Liverpool summer, Isak as well, like Ekatike. Like, what was the plan this summer for Liverpool?
Yeah, facts.
What's
Yeah, facts. 100%. I'm with
Yeah.
you. So, 100, bro. This has been a good pod though, man. I've enjoyed it.
It's been great. It's been great.
So yeah, big up to you. Again, I'll have all of the Luke's stuff in the description, so make sure to check them out. Obviously, if we get through our opponent, you get through Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll be definitely calling you up. But
yeah, I'm sure I'll be on with you and probably Zero as well. Probably so that'll be fun.
Yeah,
but
of course,
I said to Zero, I said, right, I'm not going to talk about the City Bayern until we get through Madrid because Madrid is shite, but it's still the Bernabeu. We know how it is the Bernabeu.
Yes.
Like, I want to get there, get my draw. If it's a draw, get me 1-0 win. Etihad, Blitzkrieg, win the game. That's what I want because Etihad, I'm like, yeah, we'll win that because there's no way, right? I mean, yeah, Vinny Junior. But if he gets booked, they're screwed. That's like a leg. So all we got to do is do our job, basically. Do our jobs in our game, and we're there. You know, lock in.
No, I'm with you fully. But yeah, big up. Again, please check them out. Make sure to smash the likes if you haven't already, people. And until then, we're out. Peace.